And this week, Amazon, there was an event. It's called Upfront. And that's from what I gathered and was able to find out from the internets, is that this is kind of an event that happens every year where TV stations and, TV production companies and whatnot showcase their new shows coming out to companies that buy ads or sell ads. Anyway, so this event took place this week. Amazon was, of course, there, and this must have been when they also released the Rings of Power release date.
Mm-hmm.
And on the 14th, they talked a little bit about the Wheel of Time, and this is all that was reported from Amazon themselves. And I'll quote this. It says, "We're moving on to fantasy and sci-fi." I guess they're talking about their shows that are coming out. And it says 3 series, The Wheel of Time, Gen V, and The Boys, all return with new seasons in the coming year. Okay.
I commented that this is like the beginning of, what was the thing that they said? The beginning of summer?
Yeah, the summer. They were debating the end of summer.
Yeah, when's the beginning of summer?
Well, the end. It was the end of summer.
End of summer, yeah.
So what we do know for fact is that The Boys is returning, I believe, in June of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gen V, we did a little research beforehand. Jen found out that they just started filming for Gen V. There was delays because of, I think a cast member actually died. And by the way, Dabney Coleman, rest in peace.
Yeah, I know. He lived a life. He lived a life.
Yeah, lived a long life. 92.
Dabney.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we don't, Gen V just started filming. The Boys is coming out in June, and you've got Wheel of Time, which finished filming, a month ago?
A couple months ago now.
A couple months ago. So they finished in March. The coming year. So let's do it. Let's talk about, what does the coming year mean to you, Jen?
So if The Boys wasn't coming out in June, I would say the coming year could mean the year that is the calendar year that's coming, which would be 2025.
Agreed.
But if Boys is coming in the coming year, and it's coming out in June of this year, right? Not 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that makes me think they mean 12 calendar months from now, which would be like May, which is kind of what we were like hoping for. Not hoping for, but like expecting. Hoping it wouldn't be Labor Day weekend of 2025.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. I don't know. I like that we got The Boys release date because it kind of gives us some kind of idea of what they're talking about.
How much stake do you take in this phrase, the coming year, being as literal a translation as we can find of it? Or just something that they said?
Like the Boys isn't coming out in the coming year. It's coming out next month.
Yeah.
So that's not 2025. So they can't be talking about 2025 in general, right? Because it's literally coming out.
I think if they were talking about 2025 in general, they would say next year or in 2025. The phrase "in the coming year" is such a specific choice to make that it has to have specific meaning. It's not a general phrase.
You're saying it's a very deliberate choice that they use that
thing. So yeah, I think that this was the first time I really felt like there was a very strong opportunity that we would get it next spring. I think that the other thing that I find that I think that made me think about it, like, again, this deliberate choice of words, is they may not have a release date locked down for it because they're not used to releasing the show in the spring, and they're probably trying to like figure out what, like, you know, when they're putting out what series, et cetera, not like overlap with things. But yeah, I think that I don't know. That's what it is. I think it's in the next 12 months. I agree with Jen.
So according to the internet, the phrase "the coming year" typically refers to the next calendar year, but its meaning can be nuanced depending on the context. In general, if it's early in the year, the coming year usually refers to the next calendar year. As the year progresses, can refer to the remaining part of the current year or the next 12 months.
No, I wouldn't. If it was like January,
Right.
coming year.
This is not early in the this is not early in the year to me.
No,
and
it's the middle
that's
of the
just a general sense of,
I know.
again, I think Jen's telling point is the fact that The Boys was included in that phrase, and The Boys is coming out a month from when they're having this conversation.
It's almost like they're saying this before we
Right.
get together again and do this. These shows will have come out. You know, before upfronts of next year.
Yeah,
we'll see
these
all
shows
these
be out.
shows.
I agree. I think this is the calendar month. And do you think they'd release The Boys and the Wheel of Time close together or overlap? Not The Boys, sorry, Gen V and the Wheel of Time. If they would overlap those two shows, I don't know. And if they've
Probably
only
a couple
started,
weeks apart.
yeah, if they've only started filming, I'm assuming if we had to put these in order, it would be The Boys, the Wheel of Time, and then Gen V.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I think. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And if we're saying that this coming year is in the next 12 months, that would leave at the very latest Gen V coming out next May or April or May, and the Wheel of Time comes up before that. It could be January, December. They could go back to December.